Welcome back again. This is the last part of expectation of various sum of squares in one-way classification, ANOVA one-way classification, analysis of variance one-way classification. We have learned various terms and some formulas which we are used in calculation of expectation of sum of squares, SST and SSE, in the first part. In the second part, we have calculated expectation of sum of squares due to the treatments. And in the last part, in the lesson 13, in this lesson, we calculated expectation of sum of squares due to the error, SSE, expectation of SSE. So what is I calculate directly, I consider expectation of SSE. It is the formula of SSE is summation I is equal to 1 to k, summation j is equal to 1 to ni, yij minus y bar I dot the whole square. Am I right? So this is the value yij minus y bar I dot, double summation yij minus y bar I dot whole square is the formula of sum of squares due to the error within the sum of the squares, within the variation, within the class, the variation within the class. It is nothing but sum of the squares due to the error. It indicates SSE, right? So in the calculation, now we have calculated in the first part the formula, that is the values of yij and y bar I dot. Yij is of course the mathematical model, and y bar I dot is one such value which was calculated with the help of yij in the first part. Remember and recollect the value summation j is equal to 1 to ni, and yij, the value of yij is mu plus alpha I plus epsilon ij, is nothing but the mathematical model, and minus y bar I dot, it is the value mu minus alpha, mu plus alpha I plus epsilon bar I dot, it is the value of the y bar I dot, mu plus alpha I plus epsilon bar I dot. Now we can cancel out mu minus mu, alpha I minus alpha I. Only we have two particular terms, which are those epsilon ij and epsilon minus epsilon bar I dot, which is expectation of summation I is equal to 1 to k and summation j is equal to 1 to ni, epsilon ij minus epsilon bar I dot the whole square, I dot the whole square. This is the term which remains at the end. Now you have to calculate square and take the summation and then take the expectations. You will get the value SSE, expectation of SSE, right? So therefore, do you understand this? Now I proceed further that I square and I take the summations, what I get? It's equivalent to be expectation of summation I is equal to 1 to k, summation j is equal to 1 to ni, a minus b whole square, a square, epsilon ij square. That is the first term, and the second one plus summation I is equal to 1 to k, summation j is equal to 1 to ni, epsilon bar I dot square, b square term minus 2ab minus 2 multiplied by summation I is equal to 1 to k, summation j is equal to 1 to ni, epsilon ij into epsilon bar I dot. So hope these are the three values you have. After squaring and taking the summations, you have in this fashion, right? Now do simplify further. Is equivalent to b. Don't take expectations, right? Taking the expectations. Now it is first term which will be same as it is summation I is equal to 1 to k, j is equal to 1 to ni, epsilon ij square plus you see here epsilon bar I dot square. This is the term consists of I, not of j. Hence it is a constant with respect to summation j. hence if you take the terms here of ni terms, so hence it is summation I is equal to 1 to k ni into epsilon bar I dot square, right? Minus, now you see the term 2 multiplied by, we have two terms in the double summation, epsilon I is a, epsilon bar I dot. Epsilon I is a, of course, depends on both the summations. Now epsilon bar I dot does not depend on summation j, it is only the term consists of I. Therefore, if we consider epsilon bar I dot, we can take it outside of the summation j because we have another term here. So therefore, I am taking the term outside, summation I is equal to 1 to k, but it depends on summation I. So I am taking only outside of the summation j, the constant with respect to summation j. So I have taken outside the summation j, but it is in the term, it is in the summation I, and then summation j is equal to 1 to ni epsilon I j. It is not a separation of two summations. Because of epsilon bar I dot is a constant, does not depend on summation j, we are taking just like summation 2 into some xi is nothing but 2 into summation xi. That is what we are doing with respect to summation j. And then now we want to do summation I. Now you recollect the formula of summation j is equal to 1 to ni epsilon I j, for which you consider the formula of epsilon bar I dot is equal to, it is 1 by ni summation j is equal to 1 to ni epsilon I j. This is what the formula, it's nothing here. Summation j is equal to 1 to ni epsilon I j. This is the term you have there. So therefore, you take ni left hand side, ni into epsilon bar I dot is equal to summation j is equal to 1 to ni epsilon I j. Right? Therefore, I consider, I replace the formula with n into epsilon bar I dot. So it's equivalent to the expectation of summation I is equal to 1 to k, summation j is equal to 1 to ni epsilon I j square plus summation I is equal to 1 to k ni into epsilon bar I dot square minus 2 into summation I is equal to 1 to k, it is epsilon bar I dot into, this is ni into epsilon bar I dot, that is the formula. Ni into epsilon bar I dot. Epsilon bar I dot is nothing but the formula of 1 by ni summation j is equal to 1 to ni epsilon I j. Therefore, it is ni into epsilon bar I dot. Now ni into epsilon bar I dot into epsilon bar I dot, epsilon bar I dot square. So this is what I write another step. So this is nothing but, now we can write, I also write this, and this is the formula. This is what the term, now you have expectation of summation I is equal to 1 to k, summation j is equal to 1 to ni epsilon I j square, and plus this is summation I is equal to 1 to k ni into epsilon bar I dot square minus this is 2 into summation I is equal to 1 to k ni into epsilon bar I dot square. So now this is one term, this is two terms. So summation ni epsilon bar I dot square, this is also minus 2 into summation I is equal to 1 to k ni into epsilon bar I dot square. Therefore, this is expectation of summation I is equal to 1 to k, summation j is equal to 1 to ni epsilon I j square minus summation I is equal to 1 to k ni into epsilon bar I dot square. Okay, it's not required. Epsilon bar I dot square. So this is the term, finally it is left. Now you take expectations. Do you understand this? This is the value. At the end we have such expectation of summation I is equal to 1 to k, j is equal to 1 to ni epsilon I j square, summation I is equal to 1 to k ni epsilon bar I dot square. Now take the expectations is equal to summation I is equal to 1 to k, I am taking expectation, j is equal to 1 to ni, expectation of epsilon I j square. Why? Since they are independent, identically distributed, independent. Therefore, expectation of x plus y is equal to expectation of x plus expectation of y. that is our expectation of summation xi is equal to summation expectation of xi, since they are independent. Expectation of x1 plus x2 plus and so on plus xn is equal to expectation of x1 plus expectation of x2 plus xn and so on plus expectation of xn. That is nothing but expectation of summation of xi is equal to summation of expectation of xi. That is what the theorem, additional theorem of expectations, since if they are independent. If they are independent, right? Now, summation I is equal to, similarly in the same fashion, they are independent. Expectation of epsilon bar I dot square, right? Now, what is expectation of epsilon ij square? We have a formula, it is a variance. Variance of epsilon ij is equal to expectation of epsilon ij square is equal to sigma square e. That is the first value. Variance of epsilon bar I dot is equal to expectation of epsilon bar I dot square is equal to sigma square e divided by ni. That is what the results we have. We did part 1 of the expectation of various sum of squares. That is previously in 11th lesson number 11, right? So therefore, these are the values we can substitute now. It is summation I is equal to 1 to k, summation j is equal to 1 to ni. This is sigma square e minus summation I is equal to 1 to k ni into this is sigma square e divided by ni. Right? Am I right the values? So therefore, we can cancel out ni here because both ni's are in the same summation I. So therefore, we have cancelled this the values, right? Finally, what do you have? What you will have at the end of this expectation of sum of squares due to the error? What is the value of your summation? Double summation sigma square e. Sigma square is a constant, it does not depend on these two summations. Therefore, summation, double summation in one-way classification is capital N. I have explained in the previous class, in some particular class. So capital N into sigma square e minus this is summation I is equal to 1 to k, ni was cancelled. Therefore, sigma square e is a constant, does not depend on any summation. Summation I is equal to 1 to k. Summation consists of k terms. So therefore, it is k into sigma square e. So it is equivalent to be n minus k into sigma square e. What is this? Expectation of SSE. That is whatever the heading which was finished. Expectation of SSE, sum of squares due to the error. Our expectation of various sum of squares is expectation of SSE is equal to n minus k into sigma square e. But of course, now further we are calculating the expectation of mean sum of squares. So that is mean sum of squares for error. So which means now just you divide sum of squares divides its degrees of freedom is mean sum of squares. Therefore, expectation of SSE by n minus k. Therefore, divide with n minus k. What you will get? Expectation of SSE divided by n minus k. Why I am taking directly in terms of expectations? Because it is a constant. Expectation of constant into x is equal to c into expectation of x. Now, if you divide it here 1 by n minus k, you can take it inside. Expectation of SSE by n minus k. N minus k will get cancelled and sigma square e, which means which implies expectation of s square e. What is this? Mean sum of squares due to the error, because it is a number. Mean sum of squares due to the error is n minus k. SSE divided by n minus k. Sum of squares divided by degrees of freedom is nothing but s square e. Mean sum of squares due to the error is equal to sigma square e. This is nothing but this is another result that expectation of s square e, mean sum of squares due to the error, is equal to sigma square e. That is sigma square e is an unbiased estimator for s square e. S square e is an unbiased estimator of sigma square e. Whenever you want to estimate sigma square e, we can estimate with s square e. S square e, it is an unbiased estimator of sigma square e. S square e, mean sum of squares due to the error, is an unbiased estimator for sigma square e, that is error variance. Variance of the error. Sigma square e is error variance of one-way classified data. Therefore, sigma square e can be estimated with the help of the s square e. So, these are the results. Expression of s square e is equal to sigma square e. It is nothing but expectation of mean sum of squares due to the error is equal to sigma square e error variance. So under null hypothesis, expectation of S square P is equal to sigma square E also. Expectation of S square P is equal to sigma square E under H naught. This is only under null hypothesis H naught. Alpha 1 is equal to alpha 2 is equal to alpha k is equal to 0. Otherwise no. Otherwise it is not an unbiased estimator. S square T is not an unbiased estimator for sigma square E until and only one particular condition, that under the null hypothesis. But it is not under the null hypothesis. You need not consider the null hypothesis. Even though you are not considering the null hypothesis, it is true. If you are not considering the null hypothesis, it is true. But expression as a square T is sigma square E, where S square T is an unbiased estimate of sigma square E, provided under the null hypothesis H naught, alpha 1 is equal to alpha 2 is equal to alpha k is equal to 0. All treatment effects are same. So that is what the difference between there and here. Otherwise, it is not equal to. Otherwise, it is not equal to. It is not unbiased estimator. So these are the expectation of various sum of squares which we have discussed in 3 parts, lessons 11, 12 and 13. Hope you understand. This is the one of the difficult part maybe, but if you understand, it's so easy. Definitely you can apply. In the examination, the expectation of sum of squares, you have to write in a one particular step under null hypothesis. You write down under null hypothesis H naught, expectation of S square B is equal to sigma square E, and expectation of S square E is also sigma square E. These are the two particular results you have to write. Expectation of sum of squares in the examination. In the examination, you write only these two particular points. Specify this much of lengthy question. If the question is expectation of various sum of squares of one-way classification, then you have to write entire. Otherwise, you need not write this entire particular part. Otherwise, it will be a very lengthy question. So the question, you see the question and write in the examination. So this is what the discussion of expectation of various sum of squares in ANOVA one-way classified data. Thank you. Thank you very much.